So run lads, shoot lads, give us all a go. Run lads, shoot lads, you can do it, yes. Come on Newport County, oh, bang it in the net.
Hello everybody, welcome to Taff's Word, and this one is going to be titled Pre-Season. I was thinking of just doing the title Pre-Season knicker wetting, but I thought no, that might upset a few characters, so I thought no, let's refrain from that one for now. Because I'm seeing an awful lot of stuff that for me is completely and utterly unprecedented. You know, a lot of unfounded worry. Well, fair enough, if you're worried, you're worried. But instead of actually slagging off a regime that's completely and utterly untested at the moment, why not try and look and do a bit of research into some of these players that you're slagging off before they've even played a competitive game for us? So this manager who, fair play, hasn't managed a senior A-team competitive game. He was Maritimo B manager in Portugal. Not that that matters to anybody. But you know, they're saying, oh, he's got no League Two experience. It's like, well, okay, so we could get Jurgen Klopp. Oh, that's a negative. He's got no League Two experience. For fuck's sake. You know, these people have to start somewhere. Jose Mourinho started out at Porto with no actual managerial experience and won them back-to-back European trophies, a UEFA Cup and then a Champions League, before becoming Chelsea manager, the special one, and you know, the rest is history, as you know. People have to start somewhere. Guardiola had no managerial experience before he took over at Barcelona. Bit of a big job, you know, a big name, of course. And I know that, you know, it's quite incomparable, but the principle is the same. These guys have to start somewhere. And for me, I'd rather not dig for negatives like a lot of people are. Than actually, what I'd actually rather do is listen to the noises coming out of the pre-season training camp, where the players and the staff are praising what this manager is doing. They're praising the players around them. You know, we're actually putting together an actual style of play that we're going to stick to. I mean, I've been to 2 of the 4 friendlies that we played. Obviously, you couldn't go to Bristol City. I watched the game during my lunch break. I missed the Undy game, but I seen the Pontypridd and I saw the Barry game. Now, I know Barry, there was seemingly not an awful lot of positives to take from it, but how can anybody see a loss in a pre-season game as a reflection of how we may play in the competitive League Two season? I mean, that's just bonkers. Pre-season games are part of a pre-season package, and pre-season is all-out training. Now, the only time pre-season game is of meaning is when you're a smaller club playing against a big club. Newport County versus Barry. Barry, smaller club, playing against a bigger club. A scalp. You know, their players are going to play for the win. What our players are going to play is putting into practice what they're learning in training. So for me, if like in the Barry game, I'm the manager and we've been working on certain moves in training, and I'm saying, right, forget about the result, we're going to try that out in a match situation. We'll try that out in the match situation, and if I can see them making progress and we lose 4-0, I'm happy. I'm coming away happy. What I'm saying is, we want to adopt a certain style of play. They are getting better at playing that way because I've seen things that we were trying out in training which they were able to almost get right in a match situation. Then fast forward only a couple of days to the Bristol City game. Now for me, Bristol City, much bigger club, much better players, pumped us 8-0 last pre-season. This season, it probably would have been 1-1 if Jeff Cott doesn't miss that chance. Because goals change games, and if he'd have put that away, what happens afterwards would have been massively, completely and utterly different. You know, it would have been completely different. Personally, I think it would have finished 1-1, and it would have been a hard-fought, good draw. And for me, again, going back to the whole thing about, you know, pre-season games, you know, when you're a smaller club playing against a bigger club, but even then, if you're trying to work on a particular style of play, if you're getting success against a team 2 divisions above you, and we did, at times we did. What I liked is our defensive work, because we were able to close them out. Now, all these chances that they scored, well, they won 8-0 last year. It could have been 12, maybe 13. But we were closing out the opportunities. What were big chances in last year's game were half chances in this game. They took 2 of them. They didn't have a lot of actual proper chances. I mean, they had a couple of good chances that they could have scored. They maybe could have scored 3 or 4 in that game. But ifs, buts and maybes don't matter. They don't matter, you know? What matters is the goals when you're looking at the result. But again, I'm not looking at the result. I'm looking at, are we putting together good sequences of play? And the answer to that is yes, we were. We had a lot of good comments from the Bristol City people who were covering the game. We were a good opposition for them. We were a good test for them. We were solid defensively, and we put some good moves together and put them under pressure at times. I, for one, think that we're onto something good. I think we've signed some potentially promising players. I've seen some good stuff from some players. I think Joe Thomas, I've been really impressed with. I've been impressed with Kieran Brennan. Kai Whitmore looks a really handy player. I've been impressed with some of the new boys up front. I don't know why, but I feel like I might be getting his name wrong. Is it Spellman playing up top? I was really impressed with him. And I think Graves, when he came on, looked like a capable player. But like I say, we're still in the middle of pre-season. There's still more training to do. There's still more coaching, you know, from our coaching staff. And I think that's where you know, the philosophy that we're trying to adopt at the county now under Hugh Jenkins. I mean, a lot of people are like slagging off. Oh my God, you know, he's going to take us down. And like, you know, what's with the knicker wetting? What is with all this negative bollocks? I mean, we haven't played any competitive games. I can remember last season after Yeovil, and everyone was walking away, oh my God, you know, we're in for a long season if that's how we're going to play. I'm like, but what makes you think that that's how we're going to play? That's a training game. Yeovil are 2 divisions below us, and they wanted to beat us. You know, they had players in their team who used to play for us, who wanted to stick one on us. Why would we worry about that result? We were obviously working on some things that we were working on in training, and that's all pre-season games are. So, we come away from Yeovil, oh my God, we're going to go down, you know, we're going to really struggle this year. We didn't. I think we knew after a few games we weren't going to struggle. And even the knicker wetting continued because, you know, we'd have a couple of bad results and we go, oh my God, January can't come quick enough. Hugh Jenkins needs to take over as soon as possible. Otherwise, we were never fucked. We were never in a bad place last season. You know, the injuries prevented us from achieving more. We had a really, really bad injury run, and towards the end, you know, the poor players there just completely lost their steam. We would have far exceeded the season before, if not for the injuries, and we definitely did it in the cups. So, for me, I'm particularly happy with what we were able to achieve last season on the back of everybody wetting their knickers over pre-season. Now, we've got a very experienced coach coaching a style of play, which when these players pick it up will be a very, very difficult system to play against. It'll be a very difficult system to stop because a lot of the quick attacking movement looks like it's going to be very useful. And we've got young, hungry players. I mean, these players, let's give you a good freaking comparison now, right? How many Halifax fans do you think had a whinge, you know, or voiced their underwhelming feeling when they signed Jamie Vardy from some unknown Sheffield-based club? Oh, who the bloody hell is that? He's from however many levels below. I think Halifax were in the Conference North at that point, and this team, I can't remember the fucking name of the team. It was a Sheffield-based team, and you know, they were more or less playing counties football, and they plucked up Jamie Vardy from there. And from the point he went to Halifax at a reasonable level, that's where he sees the initiative and become, a top Premier League striker in the end. But then you can look back at plenty of non-league players. I mean, I'm not even saying about players who we're picking up via non-league. We're talking like we've picked up players, and I'm repeating myself on my last video now. We picked up players who come through some very reputable youth systems. I mean, we already had plenty of, we're talking about like experience. We've got plenty of experience, and we've signed players with experience. I mean, we had the boy who just signed now, Cameron Evans, had just signed for us, and he was the one who I was really impressed with at right back. But we got Joe Thomas at right back as well. We've got some good players, good, young, hungry, potential money-making players. And so one thing I spoke to many County fans about is, who have we really got in our team? I'm talking like the last sort of 10 years. How many players have we really got in our team that have actually got a transfer value to them? And it's like, look, no one really. I think back in the day, I think you could say Josh Sheehan had a transfer value. Unfortunately, his contract was allowed to run out, so he could go on a free. Dan Butler had a transfer value. His contract was allowed to run out, so he could go on a free. Maybe Cameron Norman had a transfer value, but contract ran out, was allowed to go on a free. We come to that conundrum with Will Evans now. Now, Will Evans was completely untried, untested, and bang, the right coaching, he becomes a 20-plus goal a season striker. Boom. Right coaching. Right potential, right coaching. Who actually would believe that Hugh Jenkins did not have a scouting system set out ready to scout these players? Who would actually be naive enough to think that we've just gone, yeah, we'll sign him, and we'll sign him. Oh, well, he's come, there's a goalkeeper, he used to be at Man United, he's bound to be good, let's just sign him. I mean, Hugh Jenkins did not take Swansea from the bottom tier of English football, the bottom tier of professional English football, to the top with a cup winning into Europe by, we'll just sign him, or we'll just make him manager, or we'll just do. No, you don't. You got to be absolutely deluded to think that Hugh Jenkins hasn't done any due diligence on any of these players, or he hasn't had a scouting team working on them. I mean, come on. So try and feel excited. This is a brand new era, with a chairman, like I said, who took Swansea from below our position because they were at the fucking bottom of League Two, more or less. They just saved themselves from going out of the Football League by the skin of their teeth. And now, that guy who took Swansea from there all the way up to the top is now our chairman. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to do that with us, but fucking hell, he's gonna turn us into a proper football club. We haven't made, we came into the Football League with non-league in the background. We've never really had Football League, credentials in the background, only on the pitch, and the supporters. We're supporters who deserve to be in the Football League. Hugh Jenkins will create the right infrastructure, the right organisational setup at the football club to make us a proper football club. I don't know what else I can say, really. I mean, surely if I hope to fuck now that watching this, listening to what I've got to say, will help you to to maybe feel a bit more positive about this new era and stop fucking worrying over something that you know absolutely nothing about. Honestly, and I'm not just saying that just to try and be derogatory to anybody. I'm not. I'm just pointing out a pure hard fact here. When it comes to running a football club, right, a professional Football League football club who, in the stands, actually knows what the fuck they're on about. When they're trying to say, oh, this is how we should be doing it. These are the kind of players we should sign. Or this is the kind of football we should play. Or this kind of football don't work in League Two. Or this kind of manager won't be any good for League Two. What the fuck do you know? Really? You don't, do you? You don't. I don't. I'm just pointing out what I can see. Come on. Anyway, off to Kidderminster today. Looking to take in some more of, the kind of football we can look forward to when the season starts. So, look, I'm not trying to say that this is going to be a sure thing. I'm not. All I'm saying is we got a lot of reasons to feel positive about it. So please, for your own sake as well, try and feel positive about it. And when there's a reason to be negative, I'll be on your side. But I don't think there will be. I think we're in for a good ride now. So look forward to it. Enjoy it. And hopefully we'll come out the other end in a very good place. All right. So thanks for watching, everybody. Obviously, it's a pleasure to do these videos. As the season gets closer, I will be kicking more of them out. Last season, I turned down sponsorship for my videos, because I couldn't guarantee the sponsor that I'd be putting the content out often enough to make it worth their while. So I didn't want to take their money in bad faith. I can promise now that I will be putting out decent videos. I will be going back to that person who offered to sponsor and say, if you want to sponsor for this season, I can guarantee the content to make it worth your while. But at the end of the day, at the Amber Army, we're always looking for new creators, and new creators could bring their own opportunities. So if you are interested in becoming a creator, doing what I do, or using your own creative spin to make whatever you want, to project the county in a good light, that's exactly what this channel is about. So get in touch, honestly. I look forward to hearing from you. Anyway, off to Kidderminster shortly. Have a good one, everybody who's going. Have a good weekend for those who aren't. And as always, up the county. Thanks for watching.